Hi everyone, and welcome to the tutorial. Today I will be demonstrating how to work a knit through stitch. This is a pretty interesting decorative stitch that you can use in your work. It results in a pretty dense fabric and the appearance is similar to a 1x1 cross or 1x1 cable, but it's performed in a different way because you're actually pulling one of your stitches through another stitch. So your written instructions for this stitch will generally read something like the following. Insert right hand needle into front loop of next stitch on left hand needle as if to purl, then into front loop of second stitch as if to knit. Pull second stitch through the first one using needle tip and knit it, then knit first stitch. Okay, so the first thing we do is insert our right hand needle into the next stitch on the left hand needle as if to purl. So from back to front and through the front leg of the stitch, we insert the needle like so. Then without doing anything to this stitch yet, we also insert our right hand needle tip into the second stitch on the left hand needle as if to knit. So my needle is actually traveling through two stitches at the moment. We then use the right hand needle tip to pull the second stitch on the left hand needle through the first one. So hopefully you'll see that here. This is my second stitch here and also here. So it's actually crossing through what was the first stitch on the left hand needle. I then knit this stitch. So just as normal, wrap your working yarn around and knit it. And then I actually want to slip it from the left hand needle because it is completely worked. The last thing I do is go back and knit what was the first stitch on the left hand needle absolutely normally. And there I've completed a knit through stitch. You can see it's resulted in this little cross. And if you look really carefully, you can tell that this is what was the second stitch, this stitch that's traveling from left to right here. And the one that's traveling from right to left is what was the first stitch on the left hand needle. So we'll do that again. Insert the right hand needle into the next stitch as if to purl, and then into the second stitch as if to knit. Bring the second stitch through the first one using your needle and knit it, and then knit the first, what was the first stitch on the left hand needle. And there I've completed two knit through stitches. As you get the hang of the stitch, you won't need to exaggerate your movement so much. You'll be able to just start sort of flicking that second stitch through the first one quite easily. And it creates a lovely little cross stitch pattern. One more time, insert the right hand needle into the next stitch on the left hand needle as if to purl, insert it into the second stitch as if to knit, and in the same action you bring that stitch through the first one. So I've pulled it through here, knit that stitch, and then knit what was the first stitch on the left hand needle. And that's how you work a knit through stitch. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the tutorial, please feel free to subscribe to the channel. And if you have any questions or comments, do leave them below.